The heroes of Adventure is Nigh are courageous, mighty, and cuddly? Well, now they can be. Mortimer, Dabarella, Grinderbin, and Sigmar Iceblood are available in plushie form, each with their own adventuring accessory. Display them, hug them, or have them perform in your very own Adventure is Nigh fan fiction. We don't need to talk to every NPC. Yeah, instead, let's make a quick and decisive plan. Get your Adventure is Nigh plushie now at sharkrobot.com or click on the link in the description. And for a limited time, you can buy all 4 at a reduced cost. I'll try the path the Dungeon Master intended me to. Oh blimey, this time I won't use deception.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Firelink Podcast, episode number 64 for Thursday, April 24th, 2025. Marty here, joined by Casey, Nick, and producer Eric. We got a show for you today. The video games have arrived. People thought there might not be no video games for the rest of the time. And you know what? A couple of them came out.
Because of tariffs?
Because of tariffs and terrorists. No, both of them. Welcome to Firelink. We have a great show for you today. We're going to talk Switch pre-orders. Went live late last night in the U.S. We'll just do a quick temperature check, see if any of us tried to get them, if any of us got them, if any of us just waited outside a GameStop to mug an old lady and take hers. I don't know why she got one, but we're taking it from her. Also going to chat about the unexpected surprise early morning news that Ghost of Yote has a release date and a new trailer. And turns out its story is very similar to another game we've played recently, which is very funny. And then our main topic this week is the dual releases of the Shadow Drop of Oblivion Remastered and the much touted release of Clair Obscur Expedition 33, which I know we've only put a little time into, but judging by the reviews, it's like in Blueprints territory as some of the highest reviewed games of the year. Did anyone have that in their thing?
I think either Casey or I did.
I don't think I did. I thought Nick did, actually.
Did I? Can we chill?
Did I do? You did! Oh, yes! You got a beefy boy. But Ghost of Yote got a release date, so
so Marty's in the running.
GTA 6 and Silksong just needs to fall in there, and everything will be fine.
What's the name of that website again?
Isn't it at the top critic. Of the... Oh, no, it's at the top of my secret doc. I have a doc I give you guys, and then I have a secret doc I don't.
Oh, you don't
notes.
You have a secret doc.
I don't want anyone having my notes.
Fantasy.
I have such things as calling Clair Obscur a quote wee weeb game because it's French. It's for
That's funny.
Or a JRPG.
While we're on the topic of Fantasy Critic, let's see where we're at right now. So KC is currently in the lead with 67 points because he got Monster Hunter Wilds, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, Wandered Steps, Assassin's Creed Shadows, and South of Midnight. I'm in second place with 53 points with Split Fiction and Clair Obscur and Avowed. And then Marty in a very close third place at 12 points with Like a Dragon, Pirate, Yakuza, and Hawaii.
I've only had one game come out. Listen, Casey's already like halfway through his meal for the year.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
I got nothing but potential ahead of me. I got a lot of upside.
Yeah, Marty's an absolute dark horse.
That's what they're going to say about my funeral. They're going to be like, that guy, what an upside. And before we jump into news, Superb Owner, thank you so much for a $5 dono right off the bat. And remember, thank you so much, members of the Green Gang, familiar faces here in YouTube, folks donating super chats, and of course, members of the Patreon. Remember, at that $5 tier and above, you get all sorts of goodies. You get weekly columns, you get ad-free videos, you get all sorts of exclusive videos. Maybe even one from Nick this week. And if he's good, I'll let him talk about it later. I mean, you can just talk about it regardless, but later you can talk about it. That's Super Boner. Thank you so much. $5 dono. Patreon bonus / stream idea. Have all the Adventures Nigh players make Smash Me fighters based on their Adventures Nigh characters and fight while staying in character.
Did they super chat the same exact thing last week? Are they going to super chat it every week till we make it happen?
It's a great idea. I mean, that encourages us not to do it if we keep getting money. Because I thought we said like which character, because Dabarello could be like Incineroar, right? If we're just going one character.
If that's an easy one. Pit. Well, Sigmar is somewhat based off of Pit.
Okay.
In terms of like his weapons, so like that, and he's an angel, so that works.
Sure.
Mortimer, who's like a fancy boy.
One of the like Simon Belmont, is he a fancy boy? Richter?
Nah.
No, they got like cut off. Their shoulders are out. Well, probably one of the
one of the Fire Emblem boys. Probably.
Yeah, it's gotta be one of them. Grom.
Probably Martha. Yeah, Martha's probably the most prim and proper of them all.
Yeah, and then who's the mushroom?
Not
Mr. Game & Watch.
I kind of like that, but
wait,
he
who
literally pulls out a mushroom boy.
Mr. Game &
Oh,
Watch.
that is pretty good. Yeah, that is pretty good. Oh yeah, Piranha Plant. It could be Piranha Plant.
Oh, boom! There you go.
Mushroom-esque. There you go. We did it. We solved the housing crisis by figuring out who everyone's character would be in Smash. But speaking of Smash, Switch pre-orders went up last night, and let me tell you, anecdotal evidence, it was tough goings for a lot of folks. Either waiting up to midnight and then refreshing pages and it just not working, or going to Best Buy and waiting in eternal lines, or apps crashing, or things just vanishing from your carts. I will say I was up, and over the course of about a half an hour after they went live, I eventually got an order to go through at Best Buy. But let me tell you, I do not trust that order whatsoever. Email never came in, but in my order history, it's there. I'm going to tell you, until it's in my grubby little hands, I'm not going to trust it. Did either of you try to get one?
I tried. It was beyond frustrating because I would I got in. I was like right at the door for the Best Buy one, and I got through the queue, and then I was like, "Oh, sorry, there's an error. You have to go back to the line." I was like, "Fuck you!" And then I went to Walmart, put me in a queue. Same thing happened. Like added it to my cart, and then I was like, "Nope, sorry, back to the line again." I was like, "What are we doing here?" And then Target let me put it in my cart, and every time I tried to pay, it would fail the processing. And then it tried to tell me to change my address, and I'm like, I just don't care this much. I'm done.
Yeah, those were both things I had at Target as well. Were you able to get one?
I did try. I didn't try very hard. I'll admit that.
Yeah.
Like I didn't know that the thing went up at midnight. I read somewhere that everything went live at 11 a.m.
Oh,
so
yeah.
like for some reason I just trusted that. Like I signed up on Nintendo's
liars.org. They post the news, but they get everything a little wrong, so you can't trust them.
Like I signed up for Nintendo's thingy that said like, oh, our people who meet all these criteria will get an email there. I'm like, sure, of course I'll meet that criteria. Never got an email.
Those emails have gone out.
Yeah, I never got an email. So
I don't think you've necessarily not gotten an email from them.
Oh, they just haven't started their emailing process yet.
Correct.
But they also warned everyone that that mad people signed up. So most people probably
Nintendo's like, we forgot to allocate some for ourselves. Gave too many to Costco.
Yeah. I'm just not feeling I only wanted it for work because I other than that I don't really feel the need to rush out and get this thing right now.
True.
So I'm not too butthurt over it. That would have been much sadder if I missed out on the PS5 or whatever when that was going through pre-orders. But
yeah, I mean the big exclusive game at launch is going to be Mario Kart World, and then a month later DK Bonanza. Other than that, it's a lot of kind of juiced up stuff of Switch games or third-party games that you could play Elden Ring wherever you want now.
Yeah. So I mean, unless that new From Software game was dropping right at launch, that was the only reason I was gonna rush out to get something the Switch too. But right now,
you're not a big kart guy.
I can wait. If we I wanted it for work so we could play it on stream, but other than that, I'm not looking to play that every night.
Solo. Yeah.
I don't want to be
live in that world. It's open world now. Forza Horizon, get fucked. I live in the Mushroom Kingdom now. I know Jay got one, and Yotei attempted to, and I believe he failed, and Jack did not know they were up. That's my evidence so far of everyone I've talked to about them. And a couple Patreon messages came in, and thanks. And remember, if at that $5 tier and above on Patreon, we put up a little post earlier in the day before the episode, and you can chime in with some comments of your own. Like Angel Nickel, thank you so much. Was able to grab a pre-order in person at GameStop. Arrived at 5 a.m., lined up at 8, sat in line till 12. Did I really need it? Probably not, but I didn't want to risk it. How long are you willing to physically line up for a guaranteed release? That's one thing I kind of like. Is like that feels old school. Waiting in line. Mm-hmm. Like I did that for the 360 and the Wii, and I like that.
What if you wait in line that entire time though and you don't get one?
Yeah, that's a bummer. Yeah, that sucks. That's a roll of the dice.
At least like back then you used to like bring a tent to like camp out for Halo 3 or whatever. Now you're just waiting in line for disappointment.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean that's the thing with games is you could just always it feels like there's no reason to wait for a game because you could just buy it digitally, right?
Yeah. Like there's pre-orders make no sense for gaming, like unless it's like hardware, and most games you can just get digitally.
Yeah,
and also honestly, like they have enough copies. Like they're not running out of copies of games anymore.
Yeah, and sorry, I didn't mean the like, oh, you could just buy digital, don't buy it physically. I meant worst case scenario, if they sell out of physical ones, you could at the very least go home and just buy it digitally. And
if you really want it,
I can't. You have digitally 3-hour print or 3D print a Switch 2. But maybe I can. Maybe I'll try to learn by June 5th. I'll learn how to 3D print a Switch.
That's America for you. You can 3D print a gun that can kill somebody, but you can't 3D print a Switch.
I mean, I don't think you should be able to 3D print a Switch.
or a gun.
Or a 3D print a gun. But I don't think either of them should be 3D printed. And then Charles Reimer, thank you so much, Charles Reimer. I had no luck at getting a Switch 2, despite all the hubbub from Nintendo that implied that this launch wouldn't be ruinous. I sure didn't see anything to the contrary. Also, after decades of major console launches, how are retailers still so bad at handling them? GameStop's website crashed outright when it opened for pre-order. Yeah, that is the thing we were all saying of like, how are they still bad at this? Like, is this just something that's never going to get better?
I think
I feel like they should just have like a pre-order window where you sign up to get in line. They send you a confirmation code. You get that confirmation code. You go in, you click it, and then you're in. And then you get the pre-order, and you're done. You don't crash any website, whatever. Like there just needs to be some organized structure to it. Because
they fired all the people who can organize websites.
That's fair. So you just have AI now, and AI wants everybody to suffer.
And like this is the
start of Skynet.
These sorts of mass ordering events don't happen enough for these legacy retailers for them to actually invest in making sure that that process is foolproof. So yeah, like it's going to be bonked for a while, but on their end, that's only because people are selling all of the thing they have in stock. So once that's done, they still have the money that they were hoping to get.
Yeah.
And so problem solved. Everyone's happy from as far as they're concerned.
Like what else? Like shoes and concert tickets? Are those the other two?
Like special like celebrity fashion drops, like makeup, like Rihanna stuff, Beyonce stuff that goes super quick. Like bots.
Yeah, I know. Like
get them.
I have a couple of sneakerhead fans that like sneaker drops are super hard, and then obviously like when Taylor Swift was going on tour or whatever, or like Oasis tickets dropped, they're hard as hell to get. Yeah, I'm looking for it. My thing legitimately is like I really want one. I really want to play Mario Kart Day 1, and if I have to wait a week, whatever, I'll fucking deal with it.
So isn't that the worry though? Like, will it be a week you'd have to wait, or would it be longer because
like more words shattered Marty's world?
You should have just not said anything, and I would have been ignorant and would have been happy. Why did you do that? That's terrible.
I don't know. Like that's what we're looking at right now.
I hated all of that. Well, even if I don't get a Switch, at least I can look forward to a big exclusive PlayStation game coming out later this year, because Sucker Punch's follow-up to Ghost of Tsushima, Ghosts of Yote. One morning, Sony just dropped a 3-minute long, mostly story trailer, and then said, oh, by the way, it's out on October 2nd. Enjoy. Which...
Marketing is so weird these days.
I feel like we could make a little more of like a to-do about this.
I don't understand PlayStation right now.
Yeah, I don't... Like maybe they have a bigger thing planned for this summer, or like maybe this will be at the Keeleys, and like that'll be when there's kind of a big like blowout showcase kind of thing. Because it just felt this is gonna be like probably one of the 4 biggest games of the fall. Like, I don't think GTA is coming out this fall, so that'll probably slip. So like, this is probably the big single player game I'm most excited about this fall, and it just felt like there should be a little more pomp and circumstance behind it.
Everything has moved out of November. I think GTA is November.
You think so?
I think so.
I kind of think it's coming in November.
Because Call of Duty the last few years is released in October instead. You got Ghost of Yote in October. Borderlands is releasing before the holidays. Yeah, November's kind of wide open right now. I think everybody's placing their bets on November.
100 days.
They know something. It's like when the birds fly, like leave the forest.
Yeah, you feel the footsteps of GTA coming down.
My thing is, I don't think Rockstar knows when the game's going to come out yet.
I think they know.
I don't think they know. I think right now they could say November 15th, and then come August, they'd be like, we're not actually done with it, so it's coming out in April. Like, I do not think they know if the game is coming out this year.
I think, I don't know. My gut tells me November.
Okay. I don't know. Yeah.
Isn't it on your list? It's on your
it
fantasy,
is,
right?
but I mostly
Right, so
make the list for the
need that
goofs,
to
if I'm being honest. I honestly made it for the goofs. But yeah, I guess we'll see more on that. What did you guys think of the trailer? And are you hyped for this game as I am?
Oh yeah, I'm 1,000% in because it'll actually have a story I care about. I hope so. I'm not sure how I feel about I think they said in the blog post that you can take on the bad guys in kind of any order. Which worries me a little bit, but I don't know. I trust Sucker Punch to tell me a good story where this has
what about that worries you? That like there won't be kind of, if you could do it in any order, then the story might be like a little weird and fragmented.
Yeah, maybe repetitive kind of thing. I don't know. I really liked how they structured Tsushima, where going through the map was open world sections but linear in progression. Yeah, I like that.
My hope is that each of the so I guess part of the structure is that funnily enough it is the game seems to be modeled, not even modeled after, because obviously no one's cheating off each other's homework, but both Ghosts of Yote and Assassin's Creed Shadows both revolve around the story about your main character being betrayed and left for dead after her family is killed by a group of masked killers. But before they pass out, they clock every one of them, and when they wake up, they're like, "All right, these 7 fuckers, that's my mission. I'm gonna go get." Which, again, is not an original story. Like, that is Kill Bill.
Is that not a Kurosawa movie?
Well, I'm gonna get those 7 motherfuckers. I'd watch that movie if it was. I don't know if it's directly modeled after. Like, it's just a very old Tarantino certainly didn't create it. It's a very old trope, but a cool one. And it's just that in the trailer, like the people that you're going after in Ghost of Yote, they're all wearing different masks, and so it's like, oh, the kitsune and the yokai and like that. I'm like, listen, that literally just did that in a game, which was always kind of gonna happen, but
they also said
there was always going to be similarities between the two games, but it's just funny that now there's an incredibly direct similarity between the two games.
Yeah.
I mean, they said this one's more modeled off a Western anyway.
Yeah, I mean, Westerns and samurai movies, I think, have a lot of
they're two sides of the same
DNA
coin.
Yeah. It looks very cool. Yeah, but my hope is that each person you're going after has a like kind of very distinct quest line that is packed into itself, and so you can go through one and it's going to maybe tonally be very different than any of the other ones and kind of be a self-contained story. So that's how you get a bunch of good singular stories, and then obviously something cool overarching.
Yeah, I expect that from Sucker Punch more than
I just remembered Destiny 2 also did this, like
Forsaken.
Whichever season it was where they killed off the Cade 6 character, like it was exactly this, like a bunch of big bosses were involved in his death, and like the season's mission was you hunting them all down. And they had exactly what you're saying, Marty, like kind of bespoke missions that were specific to kind of like what their role was in the conglomerate, and then like getting your revenge at the end with like a cool and interesting boss fight. So like this is kind of just par for the course.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, honestly, I was always a little lukewarm on the original Ghost of Tsushima. Like, I thought it was beautiful. I really liked its story, but I thought its gameplay was kind of basic, which is something that Sony is very much guilty of in a lot of their single player cinematic driven games. With this being a sequel, my hope is that they'll have more time to just build out more of the systems. And like, okay, so the game part gets to grow along with, you know, the writing and the cinematography, whatever that they kind of focus on initially. So that's my only hope. And either way, it's going to be fine, like critic wise. But for me personally, I want that little extra bit of gameplay added.
Yeah. Did you play the Infamous games?
Yeah.
Just out of curiosity,
Did I play Infamous
2?
I played some of Infamous 2. I finished Infamous 1, some of Infamous 2.
Yeah, finished Infamous 2. Oh man. Stream series.
I tell you to go back and do it now, but where is it? I don't know.
Bring it to PC, Sony. Stop hurting everybody. Man.
Listen, if Oblivion could come back, this could come back.
Fuck.
But yeah, we'll have more on Ghost of Yote. Yeah, do you think we will see this in June at any of either the Healy showcase, or do you think Sony will hold their own showcase?
They're cool, Healy.
Yeah. Does Sony have enough for a showcase this year? Well, they're kind of quiet.
We don't know what they're working on. So
yeah. There's Marathon.
There's
Intergalactic, which I would love to see more of that. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought they just said like Intergalactic wasn't until like 2027.
Yeah.
They still show us something though, right?
That's show something,
right?
Yeah, you have one of Wolverine game. I think is probably early next year.
Completely forgot about that Wolverine game.
Yeah, he's gonna cut some fools. I think he's gonna cut people.
Yeah, that had a bunch of leaks last year, so I would not be surprised to see that this summer. Finally,
those were a ton. That was 2 years ago, and it was.
Oh, that was 2 years ago already. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was so much.
I mean, I'm still seeing like new leaks on Facebook from that game.
No, those are the same leaks. It just takes 2 years for Facebook to get them.
That's fine. There's a bunch of old people there.
But before we move on to our main topic, we got a couple super chats, and then Nick, I want to toss it to you quick for just a little update on the financial quarters. Inverse Skies with $8 Australian. Thank you so much. My second child is due the same week as the Switch 2. Let's just say I have yet to convince my wife of the importance of picking up one day one. Listen, I'm sure there's like 100 characters in Mario Kart world. I'm sure a bunch of them are babies, like baby versions of characters, and be like, this is going to teach me safe driving, how to safely drive with our children. Well, never mind the fact that I'm driving extremely fast and a monkey just threw a shell at me like a missile. Yeah, I think that's fine. And then Fungus Finder with a $2 dono. Thank you so much, Fungus Finder. Want a cart, but I guess I'm just a filthy peasant. Fungus Finder is our resident Mario Kart aficionado. And I know I should send you one, Fungus Finder.
That'd be nice.
The list of people who should get sent one. Yahtzee, Healy, Obama, Fungus Finder.
Obama likes to Switch?
He deserves one.
Even if he doesn't use it, like, you know what? Make sure you have it.
And then Will Cooling with a $2 dono. Thank you so much, Will Cooling. The pre-order experience is bad because it's underpriced.
You said this on Patreon. I don't understand what this means.
I like the pre-order experience is bad because the pre-ordering experience of everything is bad. It's less a Nintendo problem and more of just like, how have we as a society not fixed this?
And then we have services like Ticketmaster. Screw you.
People have to want things less.
Yeah, what if we're the problem? A thing goes on sale and all of a sudden we are whipped into a fury. Everybody chill the F out.
You know what? That depression should have came a week ago. And then folks would have been thinking twice about it. Instead of the depression's going to come in like August.
Right.
And we're going to be like, well, shit, I already bought this thing. So
I think like, obviously it's one thing to rush out to get tickets for a concert or something like that where there's a limited quantity. Switch, they're going to keep producing more and more. So like the only reason to rush out to get one right away is because you just can't be patient and wait.
Yeah,
and
it's FOMO.
FOMO, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, there's also like wanting to play a thing at launch. Like one thing I'm less worried about, like a Mario Kart or Donkey Kong Bonanza. I don't care about the stories, so like it's not like I'm gonna get spoiled. They're gonna be like, oh, but what about Rainbow Road? Whereas like if like the new Zelda game was dropping and it was exclusive to that, then I'd be a little bit like, all right, who am I gonna fight to get this?
yeah, Grandma, you either get Social Security or you give me your Switch.
Yeah, it's honestly it's one of the two. But yeah, thanks y'all for those super chats, and then yeah, Nick. Before we move on to the RPG topic, speaking of money, we'll talk about money.
Yeah. So we released our quarterly report, and somebody on the Patreon wanted us to talk a little bit about it here on Firelink, just to kind of give a more of an update. So if you want to read our whole quarterly report, that's two words that combine together, is over on the Patreon. So the good news is we've got our margin down to just about breaking even. We saw a really good performance on sponsorships, and Patreon has kind of stabilized finally after everything that happened last year, and overall just really stable team. We have decided as a team to take pay cuts, with Yotei and I taking the biggest hits, so that we can get back to putting money in our war chest and securing ourselves. So nobody laid off, nothing like that. Everybody's okay. And then in general for quarter two, we have a lot of cool stuff coming up. We have a couple new potential shows in the works, one from Jess Hoops and one from Jenna Stieber. We have a new Adventures Nigh one-shot being planned and in pre-production right now.
Hell yeah.
Which I'm very excited to get to talk about eventually, because something cool with it. And then just, yeah, we'll be hopefully doing some more collaborations with indie games media sites. So I've already been talking to MinMax about bringing them on to do a game night with us. We will be bringing back game night, which a lot of people have been asking for. So we're trying to figure out a time that works for everybody. And then our overall goal for quarter two is to get the Patreon back up to $45,000 a month.
Hell yeah.
That between that, the YouTube ad revenue we make, and these sponsors that we normally bring in every month, every quarter, will get us to breaking even or profitable or very close to both of those every month. So if you want to join the Patreon, now is a great time to do so. We'll be adding new perks to it. We just dropped ad-free videos down to the $5 tier, and you also get a bunch of bonus content there, including a monthly lore video from Yotei. We're making that monthly now. So far you've gotten Kingdom Hearts, Mortal Kombat, and then now we're working on Sonic, which
the hog.
that might be a wild one.
Before he reads it, can I give a couple rewrites to the erotica section when Sonic beds the human woman? So I got some fun. Man, I never thought about that.
What?
I want to write one of these now, just so I could put things in there to make Yossi say. I went from being like, I don't know, want to write one of these to like, now I just want to push everything off my plate and write one of these.
Yeah, when I do the Halo one, it's just going to be somewhere in there that like Halo is the best game ever made, and this is written. And then, of course, I've recently launched a new interview podcast series that's exclusive to Patreon for the moment. I did one a couple weeks ago with Tone DeRose, who made Blueprints. And then I just released one with Abakar Salim, who did Tales of Kinsero Zhao. So we had a really fun discussion about that game, the business of the games, and talking about some of our experiences from last year and what we learned from all that. So that was.
Tell you anything about House of the Dragon season 3?
No, he did not. But he doesn't like wearing. He didn't like wearing lube on Raised Up by Wolves because he had to wear a skin suit in Africa all the time, and so he said he was very hot and always lubed up.
Skin suit.
It's exactly.
I haven't watched Raised by Wolves.
It's a very tight skin tight suit. Yeah.
Oh, okay. That was a skin suit. Okay, gotcha. I was just like, he was wearing someone else's skin.
Well, he said, he said he smelled that suit and lube for like 2 years.
What are these guys? What's their deal on this show? What are these guys?
They're androids.
All right.
Yeah. But that doesn't explain why they're dressed like this. That was just an aesthetic choice by Ridley Scott.
Yeah.
That was Ridley Scott's weird kink.
Pretty much. So yeah, lots of extra bonuses on Patreon. And of course, at the $10 tier, we'll be adding a new group video that we're doing every month, which you will get a look at a bunch of that stuff in our channel update video that Omar and I are working on for the next week or so.
Yeah.
There you go. Lots of cool stuff.
And you didn't mention our Mario Kart World stream with Fungus Finder and Obama.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's
Watch
true.
stream.
Obama's gonna join us on second way to stream Mario Kart.
Obama, Fungus Finder, and the 1.5 of us who managed to get a Switch 2.
You know what? I'm gonna email him, see if he'll play Mario Kart with us.
Obama?
Fuck yeah. YOLO, miss every shot you don't take, right?
Yeah, you're gonna miss this shot. I think Obama lives a post-email life. I think we should start at Fungus Finder and work our way up to Obama.
What if he's on Signal?
Fungus Finder seems like we could get Fungus Finder.
You think Fungus Finder's on Signal?
Oh, right. All right.
I didn't even know that was a thing. Like,
oh, look at Obama's got that hat. That was his official president in like the Hall of Presidents. He's wearing a Mario hat. S6 with 10 Australian dollars. Thank you so much, S6. If you haven't, y'all should watch the new Gamers Nexus 2-hour investigation doco about how the tariffs are impacting PC hardware in the US. Several companies were open with thoughts and finances. TLDR, it's bad.
You know, the scary thing I've been seeing on the news like this week is basically major retailers being like, yeah, you haven't seen anything yet because our store shelves will be empty in a few weeks. Oh, good.
Yeah,
it's fun.
I didn't need.
Why couldn't that have been a few weeks before the Switch pre-orders?
Yeah,
it would have been easy to get them. I'd be less worried than I am now. I'm gonna get the fucking grumble. I wasn't even worried until fucking KC said the thing of like, oh, what if you don't get it in a week, you get it in a year? Now I'm worried. I got worried mid-podcast. I'm all worried, and I'm watching the draft right now. Like, I'm all worried about the NFL draft. I'm worried about all sorts of stuff going on right now.
The shipping container from Nintendo just might not make it.
Oh my god, I don't like any of this. I'm all worried. And then Captain President. Everyone shut up. This isn't a joke. Captain President. The only president I care about besides Mario Kart super legend Obama, with a $300 donation. Money to help in these trying times. Also, Doki, Pon, bitches. We are so close to hitting that goal of a double doke. The rare double doke.
So what are the 8 hours of Dokapon?
No, 6 hours.
6 hours.
That'll be Casey, myself, Jess, and Jesse.
Right.
Some Saturday playing 6 hours of doke.
Get it.
I'm the only one that does 8 hour streams. I forgot.
And you never actually go 8 hours. And also, you've done like 3 of like the 5 you've promised to do. There was like one time where you're like, I got diarrhea after an hour. I can't do it anymore.
No. The power got knocked out by a storm. God had diarrhea that day, not me.
I swear you missed one of those streams because of diarrhea. Beast March for the $5 dono. Thank you so much. I read the quarterly one report, and I'm very happy the second one is recovering from last year's difficulties, and more Jess and Jenna is great news. Hell yeah. Add a couple more J folks.
I didn't mention the lost and found stuff that we've already had a couple clients work for hire clients. So we finished up the Darkest Files, which we did pro bono to get a case study going so that we could show our work. And then now we have our first paid client with the horror at Hyrook, which comes out May 1st. And holy moly, I just saw the trailer that Omar put together, the gameplay trailer, the overview trailer that Omar put together, and it's fucking good. God, Javed and Omar. Talented motherfuckers, those guys.
I'm starting to think they might be talented.
I think there's a reason I wanted to work with them, yeah.
I'm starting to think they might be talented. Pro bono's a weird term.
Pro bono?
Is that Latin?
Oh, I think it's just short. Professional boner.
I think you just made Casey almost choke there.
I was choked on this tea just now.
All right, let's get to our main topic. No more chuckling. This is all serious business because 2 role-playing games have entered our lives this week. Our main topic is going to be the joint releases of Oblivion Remastered after so many leaks and rumors and reports. Finally was revealed and released earlier this week on Tuesday. Nick, I know you played a couple hours of it, so I want to get your take on it and just sort of the temperature of us on this scope of remake. And then the big game that released earlier today on all platforms, including Game Pass, Clair Obscur, Expedition 33, the first game from the French studio Sandfall Interactive, a part of Kepler. Their first game released to rave reviews, I believe a Metacritic in like the low 90s, the early 90s. Can you say that? The early 90s? If you're talking about like a number?
Probably not.
Yeah, but it's like you get it.
Like I like it. I like the use.
What was Metacritic score? Like late 80s? Yeah. And that we got a chance to play a little bit of, all three of us. So some chat about that and what its success might mean for some stuff going forward. So let's start with Oblivion. Which, after all those rumors, reports, and leaks, Bethesda finally held a little showcase on Tuesday morning and showed off. It was sort of like part like, hey, remember how important this game was back in 2006 when it released on Xbox and PC, and then part like, oh, here's what the Virtuous Studio, this also a French team, is doing with this remake. And then, of course, at the end they said, and it's out now. What did you guys think of that reveal? Like, would this have hit a lot harder if all of a sudden we woke up one morning and just didn't know this existed? But at the same time, do you think it would have immediately vaulted to what it was like 100,000 players concurrence on Steam? I almost think like the leaks helped people ready themselves, like, oh shit, next week this is coming, as opposed to being like super blindsided by it.
I think it was going to do crazy numbers no matter what. I mean, it's Oblivion. It made Bethesda a household name.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you had an Xbox 360, you probably had Oblivion. So yeah, I not at all surprised how well this is doing, and maybe the leaks helped, maybe they didn't, but I mean, there were still people believing up until the moment it released that it wasn't actually happening.
It wasn't going to be real. Yeah. Casey, what did you like? Did this release like hype you up at all? Like, are you gonna try this out?
Like last week, I was very down on the idea of this being worth anything, if I'm being honest. But after seeing what they did with it visually and like kind of mechanically, like I kind of see the appeal. Like, I'm probably still not going to jump in and play it, but like if folks like really hold Oblivion near and dear to them, to get a faithful upgrade like this is significant. Like, I wish this treatment was given to some old game that I really liked, because then I'd be excited for that. But like, this seems very, very well done. Like, just I watched a bit of something that we have coming soon, and was just kind of blown away by the animation detail in the third person camera, which I think like I've not played Oblivion, I played Skyrim, and third person in Skyrim is janky and ass.
Oh, it's
this just
janky.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this looks
here.
at least at least a lot better.
You should
watch better than Skyrim.
You should. No, it's not. It's not better.
I mean, it looks better than Skyrim. Yes,
in the trailer it does, but when I played it, running up a mountain, the guy, like, your head is literally running into the mountain. It's janky as hell.
Well, I mean, it's still Oblivion, right? Like, they didn't like remake the game; they gave it a facelift.
Yeah. I mean, there wasn't like that type of animation in the original. You can go third person, I think, but there wasn't sprinting or anything in the original game.
Yeah, all that looks good. Like, they really like put their heart and soul into making this visually feel like a game of today. And if you're saying it was so ahead of its time in terms of like a story, like story quests and whatnot linking together, then I guess it just fits right in with all the other fantasy games of today. So
playing the remake, it's definitely still Oblivion. It works and all, and I'm okay with that. The big thing for me was just upgrading the combat, and the combat feels really good now. So I was telling Jenna on stream, like, the original game didn't have vibration feedback for combat. It hardly had sound effects when you hit things. Felt really weightless. Like, it has not aged well. But the combat in this is like, I mean, if you've played Avowed, feels pretty damn close to being as good as Avowed. I'm really happy with it. And also, like, I made a post on social media. Upset everybody is I played this when I was 11 years old. So it's been 20 years since I put my hands on this, and I don't remember a whole lot of it. I remember the opening of the game and like some certain quests that I did, like the Dark Brotherhood and all that. But outside of that, like, I don't remember much of the quests or the dungeons or anything outside of that, because it's been so long since I played it. So it feels, for somebody like me that has nostalgia for it, but not like so much nostalgia that I remember every nook and cranny of the game, feels like a fresh new game to me. And I'm like, yeah, old school Bethesda, and I love it.
I'm on record not being a Bethesda boy. What I'm mostly interested. What does this do for you, for the developer, for Virtuous? Because we kind of have certain developers. There's the in terms of like remasters and remakes and stuff. We have like Blue Point was kind of the cream of the crop, and then you have other ones like that. Was it Aspire? And they're like the ones who are doing the Knights of the Old Republic remake, which everyone's worried about because they've done a bunch of like the kind of shitty ports. And so like I'm worried. Like, do you think? I'm mostly curious about Virtuous because they're also supposedly the leads on Metal Gear Solid 3 in a few months. So is that a good? Are you like? Do you have high expectations for this team? Like,
so this team is outside of Bethesda, like they're third party.
This is French.
To them?
Yeah, they're French.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
they're living the Clair Obscur life.
Said last week they're actually one of the biggest studios in the world. They're a huge outsourcing studio.
Yeah, they got their fingers in like a million different pies.
Yeah, I think. I mean, I think this blends like a remake remaster together a little bit, where like you don't change like the whole game, you just kind of build on top of it and pretty it up, which I think a lot of people want from those things. The comparison that I'm thinking in my head is the Spyro Reignited trilogy. Like I adore the original Spyro games. I've tried to play the remakes multiple times and I just kind of don't like them. I don't know what it is. Maybe too much detail. It feels like too modernized. I really don't know how to describe why the gameplay feel of those games just doesn't work for me. I don't know if anybody else in the
that PS1 generate like 3D platformers on PS1 were a little rickety.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's possible that those games are bad, and
that's the whole thing with like these Croc games just came out. Everyone's like, "Fuck yeah, Croc's back!" And people start playing Croc. It's like,
oh,
Croc's kind of bad. I'm like, well, yeah, Croc should stay in your memory. Don't touch it, and have it just be like, oh my god, like we broke up in a perfect partner relationship, and we're both friends still, and everything's great. Just don't continue that.
Now, this is as far as Oblivion goes, like extremely competently made performance. I think is going to need a few patches because even on my 4090 it was stuttering a little bit, but I mean that's kind of expected. So yeah, I mean the Metal Gear Solid thing is like a full on remake though, where this is kind of building on top of the original bones, right?
I don't know what these words mean anymore, if I'm being honest.
So
I don't know what all these rewords mean anymore.
Okay, so Oblivion, this version of Oblivion is running the original game on the Creation Engine, but they upgraded the visuals using Unreal Engine. So basically they're emulating Oblivion into Unreal Engine. So it's still the original game, just with facelift and quality of life changes. Metal Gear Solid 3 Remake sounds like it's more akin to Demon's Souls, where Blue Point completely remade the game from ground up.
That is a remake. Like that is
a full-on remake.
Yeah.
This is
the
definitely
word Delta in it. If they're going to put the word Delta in your title, it better be more than a remaster. Do you think this, given clearly the commercial success, and I'm assuming critical success, we haven't really seen a ton of reviews come out yet, just because it kind of landed in everyone's lap. But are they going to do this with Fallout 3 in New Vegas? Like, again, we forget, like, one of the biggest shows on TV is Fallout, and it has a season 2 that is modeled after New Vegas coming out next year, I believe. Like,
why not? I mean, the gaming audience is so much bigger now. Like, why would you not?
That would be.
It's just instant money for them.
Yeah, because you don't want to run the risk of oversaturating your backlog either, where like it's like, okay, so now we're just literally releasing all the games we've released before again. It's like no one's going to buy all of them, right? But like
Skyrim,
I think that is a good targeted one.
Imaginable.
Yeah, it's also like a good. Well, it makes sense for Fallout because it's just synergy with like one of the biggest shows on TV,
right?
But it also makes sense for Oblivion because it feels like hey, we're still in a holding pattern when it comes to Elder Scrolls 6. Here's this thing, like, remember how much you love Elder Scrolls in the meantime. And like the Persona team's kind of doing the same thing. Like it's been 9 years since Persona 5 and we haven't got a 6 yet, We haven't got a Persona 6 in 9 years, but we have gotten a juiced up Persona 5, and we got a remake of Persona 3 that was cool, and we're gonna get a remake of Persona 4 this year. That's cool. So like, it's one of those like, guys, don't forget about us. Just don't. We really don't want you to forget about us. We still have all these things going on.
At least in Bethesda's case, like Oblivion did not age well. Like it needed some quality of life changes. I would say this exact same thing for Fallout 3. Like if you made Fallout 3 play more like 76 and 4, I think a lot of people will be very hyped about that, because the shooting in Fallout 3 is god awful. You cannot play that game without VATS.
Yeah,
what if someone didn't know the 76 was related to American history and was like, oh my God, how many did I miss? You like, you go into a coma and you wake up and you're like, oh, they're already on Fallout 76. I've got so much to catch up on.
Check out at that point.
Yeah. I mean, you could say the same thing if you didn't play the first 32 Clair Obscurs, right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Is that a segue? I don't know if that was a segue. That was mostly just being like, okay, so that was one of the big RPGs of the week. And the other one, which released earlier today, Clair Obscur, Expedition 33. This is one I've actually got a chance to put probably 2.5-ish hours into earlier today on Game Pass. I'm really enjoying it. This is the game that is it's a blend of well, first off, this is a relatively small studio of about 30 folks in France. Some of the leadership was not 33. There were, but they had to kill 3 of them. They had to go down. There is some, I haven't gotten to the bottom of it, but there is some senior leadership that used to be at Ubisoft. So there are some tendrils of like Ubisoft Montpellier, which kind of makes sense, where it's like, this is a first time studio. Oh, but they've been in the big leagues. Like,
I wanted to ask, is this like an offshoot of some other defunct or multiple defunct studios or whatnot? Because the pedigree here definitely seems like there's some experience being leveraged.
Oh yeah, this isn't one of those like, oh, it's their first game and look at them, they're really swinging for the fences. It's like, oh no, they clearly, there's a part where your character's climbing and I'm like, ooh, someone in this game worked on Assassin's Creed. Like, this is how you climb. But it has from that first 2.5 hours. There's a lot I really like about it. It has a really well written, performed, and sort of just shot story that it's set in this world that seems like it's like post-apocalyptic France. Like you could see the Eiffel Tower in the background at some point.
It's but like there's melted, pretty much like everywhere.
Which is cool. There was this entity or goddess named the what they call it, the paintress, and every year she like counts down a number, and people who are of that age, something really bad happens to them. And I don't want to go into it because like I think the opening is a really strong narrative opening, and then once you get into the actual nitty gritty of the gameplay, I'm super smitten with how it's a nice combo of stuff like Final Fantasy X and the Paper Mario games, and even a little bit of Persona. So Casey, you played a little bit of it this morning. What did you think?
Yeah, I got right to the start of Act 1. So all of that sort of introductory stuff where they, in short order, it takes about an hour. They introduce you to the characters. They introduce you to the plot. They immediately make you care about everything that's going on. They suck you into like the premise of what's going on. And then they give you like this jolt of electricity before like it seems like the actual game starts. So like I'm like, at that point, I was kind of buzzing to keep playing, but like I was out of time. I was like, I got to go get ready to come on the stream and whatnot. But like, before that, they only give you like 2 sort of practice sessions with the combat system, which is turn-based RPG fare, and that's always my biggest detractor for these sorts of things. Like, if it's a good story, like that could definitely hook me. But if I get super bored with the gameplay, then I'm probably gonna have one foot out of the door. That's what happened with Metaphor Fantasio. Sadly, like that game story did not hook me fast enough. But this is kind of the opposite, because like you said, there are elements of Paper Mario in this combat system. Like you don't sit back and watch the things happen when you press the buttons. Like you do have to participate in combat. You watch the actual enemy animations and you react to them. You can dodge, you can parry. And honestly, it's just really kinetic. Like it is playing out, but like they give you those sort of QTE-esque prompts that have a significant effect on the combat.
Yeah.
But it also just looks really cool. So think Asura's Wrath in terms of like, yes, it's a QTE, but like this is so specific to what's happening that like this feels fun to just mash buttons in time with what's happening. So I am not a JRPG guy. This is a JRPG for a non-JRPG player. Like I think they're hitting all those buttons right now.
And I mean, you mentioned the pairing stuff. Like I think literally you can marry anything. So like you could like make it through the hardest battles in this game, which apparently the game gets pretty tough. I mean, you can put it down in baby mode if you want, but apparently you can get through the hardest battles and like just if you're good enough, you can parry everything. I've seen some Sekiro fans not say it's nearly as deep as Sekiro, but like it scratches a similar ish as that, which I think is super cool.
Yeah,
Nick, you've been following this one for a while. What did you think?
Yeah, I mean, I put it on my list because it's just another game like kind of Blueprints. You kind of see it, and it's like something here. Yeah, the opening of the game is fantastic. First of all, I'll mention the soundtrack because a good soundtrack will immediately hook me into a game.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
South of Midnight. This really, really good music in video games this year. I also like that. Some articles have already been written about it today, but like a lot of current games, Dragon Age Veilguard is really good. A good pointer as this is like the amount of exposition they give you before you even get into a game. And this game does not do that. This game gets the story going, and it's like, this is the world you're in. You're not going to understand it. You need to play to learn more about it and understand what's going on. And it doesn't give you all the answers right out of the gate. And I'm very happy for that. Where like Dragon Age Veilguard is so exposition heavy at the start, and it's like it answers all the mysteries for you almost right away. Who you're fighting, why you're fighting them, what's this happening, why is this happening? Like just let me get in there and learn. Let me get in there and explore.
Yeah.
So I love that like this. There's so many questions I have, and from the reviews, because we only got review copy a couple days ago, but from the reviews, the game sounds like it answers them for you by playing, and that's great.
Yeah, Casey, you brought up a really good point that I agree with. That really early on in that prologue, which like you can jam through that prologue crazy quick if you want, or you can kind of take your time and talk to a bunch of people and kind of set yourself up. It sets the stakes and the motivation so well, and then when you're thrust into the adventure, you're like, well, fuck, I gotta figure out this mystery, and I gotta fix this because this world sucks. Like, if I don't do this,
like you took them from me, I'm
like, I gotta fix this for the next generation. So yeah, just a really really cool in that respect, and really good performances. Like Charlie Cox is the main character at the start, from Daredevil, and
but they didn't use
Ben
his
Starr.
likeness.
They did not, no, because he looks more like Robert Pattinson.
Yeah.
Does he? I thought he looked a little like Rahul Kohli.
No, he looks like all the handsome boys. all the Hollywood hunks are here.
No, but I also got and this is gonna seem like a complete ass pull, but I really got vibes of what was the Magic FPS?
First
came
one.
out.
Immortals Avium.
Immortals of Avium, yeah. Because of the production value and just like that game story was much more adult novel adaptation, or like adult novel TV series adaptation, but it was very good at mimicking that. Like this feels like that, but for a slightly more sophisticated story, I guess.
Yeah.
Right. So like it is hitting all the marks of like, I immediately care about this cast, and like this is an adaptation. Like this could have just been a TV show.
Oh,
like some big fantasy TV show. But they're justifying
they already,
and
they already sold the rights to it. Yeah, before.
There you go.
I think someone saw it. Yeah, because it's a strong, really really strong concept. And one of those things where like, yeah, there's magic and shit in the world, but like you immediately kind of are like, oh, okay, this is cool. I'm really excited to play more, and according to the reviews, the game maintains that quality. It doesn't overstay its welcome. It's like in the realm of RPGs like this, relatively short, like a 25-30 hour game, and it apparently is also like a really good ending and stuff. So, which is really cool to hear. There are a few things. I got my nibbles to bit. Which, Casey, you haven't quite gotten to the what?
Nothing. Continue.
No, everyone likes bit in the nibbles. Listen, no matter how much you love something, no matter what, I'm biting the nibbles.
Please stop saying that.
Why are you saying that? What are we doing?
I got nibbles a bit. I'm trying to talk about the nibbles I have the bit in the game. A couple things that, especially once you get once you get past the prologue, you get into like a combat exploration zone that has a critical path, but there's also a bunch of side paths you can take for random items, for optional battles and everything. Immediately, a couple things stood out as this game is missing X, Y, and Z. It does not have a mini map in these areas. So you don't have a mini map, and so you're running through, and I'm constantly like, is this somewhere I can go? And I'm like, no, this is just geography. Is this somewhere I can go? I'm like, oh no, this is pretty, I can't jump up here. Okay, so I guess the other thing, this is one of those games a little too pretty for its own good. It's a little too pretty for its own good.
You need that yellow paint?
Everything looks so pristine. I'm not even seeing the little twinkle of a thing in the ground. Everything's so pristine, and there's bloom everywhere, and there's lighting coming from everywhere, and there's a little purple thing in the ground that I could pick up, but I didn't clock it immediately. You got to make that annoying. It's got to like fucking pulse at me. And then the other thing is there's no, from what I can see right now, there's no quest log. So I found an optional thing to do, and a couple minutes later, I got the thing that I needed to where I could double back and do the thing. But I'm now worried, since there's no quest log, if I take a break from playing this game, I'm going to forget someone asked me to do something. I'm going to find something and just be like, well, whatever. I'm just going to keep pressing forward. Like I need a little... These are all maybe like things I'm complaining about because I got like a baby brain, but...
I mean, yeah, like what's the worst that can happen if you forget to give some kid an envelope or whatever?
No,
like,
this one was important. This one was important. Get an envelope.
Like, here, kid,
yeah, I don't know.
this.
Nick, have you felt any of that? Like you've gotten into like sort of the combat open world zones, not open world, but combat zones.
No, I would have agreed with you. I don't think you're to the area that I'm in yet. It's the second area, but I ran into a spot where there was nothing there yet, and I was like, "Oh, I'm confused. Why am I here? There's nothing to do. It's just an empty geography zone." Went back, did the story part, did the mission, came back, and then the stuff that I needed to do was there. So I already found my way to that path, and then things happened when I got back there.
Gotcha.
So
I just got to the overworld, like the map, which I think is great. Like I love the you end up getting to like an overworld map where you're like a dude and you're running in the map, and like all the proportions of everything is strange, but it like just feels like an old school RPG.
Yeah, I remember them showing that off in like a gameplay.
Yeah,
and it's very reminiscent of the older JRPGs where you like
Final Fantasy 9, anything like that. Yeah, Chrono Trigger. Yeah, I thought that was cool.
So
yeah, sorry.
I don't know. My I mean, you guys know my tastes have kind of changed to games not holding my hand or telling me what to do. So it works for me because I'm exploring every nook and cranny to look for items that I need and everything. So doesn't bother me, but yeah, I guess if you play a lot of JRPGs or replay them a lot, those changes might annoy you.
I also think we need to get rid of the holding hand as a negative thing, because you know what's nice? Holding the hand of a loved one. If you're going out on a date, holding a little hand, that's nice sometimes. Sometimes two people can walk at the same pace, holding each other's hand. I want a game that does that. I want a game. No, I don't want that. I want a game that holds my hand and we're both journeying together. That's what I want.
You know something I noticed immediately that this game did do? That trope where, especially in a tutorial where someone's like, follow me, but they walk so much slower than you do. This game is the absolute opposite.
Yeah,
and that the girl you needed to follow was zooming. I was like, oh my God.
I'm never going to find this girl.
Yeah,
I'm never going to find her again.
She's so effing fast.
You run crazy fast. If you hold R in this game, your character just
oh my God.
I almost thought that was a glitch, but I also think it might be intentionally funny because they're like, you're gonna slow walk to your objective. Nope, she's fucking gone.
Yeah,
she's gone.
She was the
I looked the other way. I turned around and I turned. I'm slightly worried about the menus are gonna get real cumbersome in this game. I've already gotten so many random things to equip and abilities, and I want to get in the menus. I'm like, that is one thing that feels like this is a smaller team. They don't have the we have like 1,000-person think tank to really like narrow, like focus in on how to streamline and make it user friendly, this menu. So I'm a little worried about that. It hasn't been terrible yet, but I'm worried.
I'll I will give this game a bigger comparison to Persona than you will, where when you play Persona games, like you feel where it was made in Japan. You know, the aesthetic, the feel, everything.
Sure.
This feels like a French game. The soundtrack, the visual,
deeply French.
Yeah, everything about it just screams French. And like,
well, everyone's accents are British though. I thought that was kind of strange.
It's just a fantasy accent.
Yeah, that is a bit. Yeah,
I'm not a fan. I would.
Wheel of Time.
They should have
Witcher
let them all
3.
have like if they're gonna speak English, fine, but give them French accents. Why
There's
not?
not enough French French celebrities. Probably.
I mean, but those celebrities can do French accents, right?
Oh, I guess that's true. Is that offensive? Is it if a British person does a French accent? Is it offensive?
Absolutely not.
Well, they did a French dub. If you want to listen to that.
But then they're actually speaking French, and I don't want to listen to actual French. I'll be honest.
Wow. Nobody can please you, and get over it.
I was about to fucking dogpile you, and then I'm like, oh no, I'm the same way about anime. I'm like, oh, it's Japanese. What? I gotta read at the bottom of the screen. Get out
We
of
just
here.
said UK English is like the fantasy language. I'm trying to think. Yeah. Is there like any like American fantasy? Like,
oh, how weird would it be if you watched like Lord of the Rings and everyone was
just
just
a New
like,
York
speaking
accent,
with like,
Boston accent.
Yeah.
I'll get those orcs off our wall.
I'd watch that. If I'm being honest. I would watch Ben Affleck and Matt Damon in a fantasy epic.
Damn orcs.
Yeah.
To bring it up again, Immortals of Avium. They were a bunch of Americans in a fantasy setting, but it makes sense because they use magic like guns.
Yeah, music.
What's it called? Also, Forspoken.
Oh, that was an isekai though.
Yeah, it was
like
isekai.
they pulled an actual
she's a New Yorker
American into a fantasy setting.
Oh, that wasn't what Immortals of Avium did.
No,
it was just they had American accents.
Yeah.
I always found it funny in like Harry Potter that there was like American wizard colleges, and I'm like, well, I bet those places are fucked up. It's like Euphoria. Teachers are just like, I can't handle these kids anymore.
That's so fire, man. What do you mean? Are you casting a spell? Or are you saying that's cool?
Fat Cock with the $2 dono. Thank you so much, Fat Cock. Speaking to our larger RPG topic, now I wait for the Fallout 3 remaster. Hopefully, it feels like it has to be happening. Although I'm a little worried. I don't think Virtuous would have had 2 in development at the same time. So that feels like something that might get greenlit now. But if that's true, how long is that?
That would be the real shadow drop. We'll never see it coming.
That'd be great. I mean, if it doesn't get leaked in like an FTC filing. And then also Fat Cock following it up with a $5 dono. Fallout is so big that Pornhub had a noticeable drop in traffic after Fallout 4 launched. So it is a big franchise. It's only a big franchise amongst gooners.
That'd be some weird stuff to goon to in that game.
That someone discovered. like who was doing the research to draw that connection between these two things?
Someone's just like, I just love data. And it's like, no, you're just horny as hell, dude. He's like, where are all my Pornhub pals? Why aren't they online today?
SEO is empty. It's probably the SEO manager of Pornhub.
The Pornhub numbers, like, huh.
There's a lot of Fallout videos being uploaded today.
Do you think in the same way that there's people who like fucking cape up for like various video game developers and publishers and talk shit about other ones, they do the same thing? Like, there's people at Pornhub looking at concurrence and you're like, oh my god, fucking Dead on Arrival, 10,000 concurrence. This is a solo video. It's not meant to have those.
Like just porn pundits.
Porn pundits. Are there porn casts where it's just people talk about porn, spoofing and goofing, talking about what they're doing for their day?
We are
reading comments by fact.
There must be. That must be a market out there.
I want to see I want to find a chill porn podcast. Like, I don't want to get into the porn, but I want to just be like, it's just a couple pals who like to goof around once a week and also occasionally talk about porn.
Some reviews.
That's just smut book clubs.
Oh, that'd be great.
Sorry, we already had that with what was that movie series?
Oh, if it's Shades of Grey?
Yeah.
Hell yeah, dog. Those movies are terrible. Those movies are like deeply, deeply terrible. Meow indeed over on the Patreon. Thank you so much, Meow indeed. Evening, gents. In a world where it's been over a decade since GTA 5 and even longer since The Elder Scrolls 5, in your mind, are remasters of older games like Oblivion a good thing, or are remasters just wasting game dev resources to chase some nostalgia cash?
I always like we dog on them a lot, but also like you have to remember like more and more people have gotten into games since the 360 and all those other
Sure.
PS3. So like there are millions of people that are into games now that have never experienced Oblivion or Metal Gear Solid 3 or whatever. So like I think it's like worth doing them for games that deserve it, which could mean anything for anybody, because I think Goblin Commander deserves a remake, but it's just me.
Sure.
So, but I mean, there was a demand for it. Like people look at all the modders trying to remake Oblivion, right? Like,
Yeah.
you knew like they knew there was a market for that.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah, so it's funny,
hype it up.
Casey. So we talked, Nick is excited for Oblivion. I'm excited for Metal Gear. Like, what is a game of that era that you'd be like really fucking stoked for if it made that kind of like, some point in the early to mid to late 2000s?
We might get it, but something like Beautiful Joe, I want to say. Like bring that. Like I would want a new one, but like if they make it playable today and like zhuzh it up some, I wouldn't be mad at that. And that's the thing, right? It's like, yes, we dogpile on some remasters, but that's because some do feel like sort of shameless cash grabs. It's like, well, yeah, some feel completely unnecessary. Like this game isn't that old to be doing any sort of anything to it.
Mm-hmm.
But so it's like, what's a good candidate? If you produce a good candidate that's worthy of the remake, then yeah, you should absolutely go forward with that. There's going to be a market for it, and you're going to be doing the game itself a service because you're bringing it, which it maybe had amazing ideas for the time. Maybe it pioneered some ideas that are everywhere else right now, but it's just not in a playable state by today's standards. So yeah, go ahead and do that work there. I think it was Yotei who says repeatedly, like that we should do more remasters of bad games, like games that kind of had a good idea but like fell on its face. Like, why not go back to those wells and make them good with the experience that you have?
Yeah, I completely agree. That's always a good point when he brings it up.
Just a much bigger risk of putting the work in and still not having it sell.
Yeah,
sure. Yeah,
it'd have to be for like cult classics that were like beloved by some but not enough, and then that small audience would be the one to be like, yo, this is good, now go play this.
Yeah, or at least like Jonathan Ross brings up, it'd be interesting if they did it in a series that's already beloved. So something like Code Veronica or Resident Evil 0, which are kind of the two black sheep of that franchise. Like to be like, oh, let's do this one. They already did Resident Evil 4. Like people love that game. Resident Evil 1, people love that game. Resident Evil 2, people love that game. But like do one that's a little less loved. See what happens.
I don't think there's any fixing Rogue Warrior, no matter what you do to that game.
No. You gotta burn the ground, salt the earth. Denmark, 17 months in the tip jar. Thank you so much. Denmark, great to see you. And then Nick Rollins, before we move on to what we've been playing. Nick Rollins in the Patreon asks, if Clair Obscur is a success, could it usher in a new wave of AA turn-based RPGs? Could it possibly signal to some storied franchises the error on the current trends and return them to former glory? Looking at you, Final Fantasy.
I think we're kind of already there for AA JRPGs. Like,
we're there in indies.
Well, I mean,
like turn-based AA RPGs.
Sea of Stars. Yeah, I guess 3D ones maybe. Sea of Stars, I wouldn't really.
I guess Sea of Stars might have had as many people working on it as
this. Yeah,
Clair Obscur. Yeah,
like 20-something people.
So close-ish.
Yeah, I think it's more just that 3D area. Because like, what was that one? You did a short on it. The one with the really good pixel art.
Threads of Time.
Threads of Time. Yeah, that's a big one.
Yeah, there's that 2D HD look that Octopath Traveler and stuff like that, the Live Alive remake. I hope I would love a Final Fantasy. I think the closest thing, I don't think Final Fantasy 17 would be turn-based. Although I don't know, maybe this is showing like, hey, this in Persona, you can do turn-based.
I think it will be. I think it will be after 16,
Yeah,
16 sell as much as they wanted.
There's a good chance, that Square Enix
I think they alienated
feels
that audience.
slighted. Like they were like, "Oh, we thought this was the path forward for bigger market appeal, and like we're not making our money back. So maybe let's go back and do the thing that was making us money." But some of that stuff is just overproduced. Like you can they're kind of making the point, right? Like this game is very pretty.
Mm-hmm.
It clearly did not have a similar budget to Final Fantasy. It's clearly not as big as Final Fantasy 16, right? Like they don't have to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Like this goes to all triple/quadruple A. You sometimes don't have to spend all the money on the game.
I'm trying to these 60 hours. I'm like, if your game is 30 hours, no one's gonna know the difference.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
No one's gonna complain that a game is short if it's 30 hours.
Yeah, they have the data that like 10 to 15% of all players, no matter how much you're selling, actually finish the thing that you made.
Yeah.
It's wild.
I'm trying to get. I reached out today to get some people from Kepler Interactive onto the podcast series I'm doing because I want to talk to them about because all their games are mid-budget games and they keep putting out banger after banger. Pacific Drive, Sifu, this Bionic Bay just came out from them.
Yeah,
they did Flintlock: The Siege of Dawn. Like they're all
double A level games that are all worker funded or developer owned or something.
They're developer co-owned, yeah. So they're a publisher, but like the games that they publish, the developers can become a co-owner of the publisher, so they benefit from.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah, so I want to talk to them about a lot of that and see how that's really going for them.
Yeah, that'd be fascinating. Before we move on to what else we've been planning to watch, Captain President with a $10 dono says Final Fantasy 17 will be a first-person shooter in Vietnam with summons, and oh my god, I would love that game.
That's such a good idea.
That is such a good idea. Like, imagine if it was just the Vietnam War, but there was also like Shiva and like Ifrit and fucking Odin. Holy moly! Yeah, you don't give that one away for free, Captain President. keep that one. That one's real good. Cool. What besides these two games, what have you been playing and watching? Nick, what have you been playing and watching?
I still can't. Well, actually, no, I can talk about. I was playing Mandragora quite a bit. It's a indie kind of Souls-like action RPG mixed with a Metroidvania. Really beautiful art style. Actually, a good story. And I really enjoyed what I played for the first kind of big part of it. I got to the first kind of major story boss, and then the game. Ooh, I hit a hard wall in that game. It was. It's a game that I really liked for the time that I played it, because like the combat feels okay. The world and the visuals and the sound and all that all really works in the first area, and the second, as soon as you get to the second area though, like it is a real big difficulty spike, not well balanced. There's a bit too many enemies for the type of game it is. Like side-scrolling Souls-likes, I think you really got to be careful with how many enemies you put and how much like mixing of platforming and combat you put, because otherwise it gets very frustrating very quickly. So, like, there's a section that you get almost immediately into the second area where you're trying to do platforming and you have, like, these flying enemies that are already hard enough to hit, throwing fireballs at you while you're trying to platform, and then keep your enough life so that you can get to the boss area because you have to keep going back. And it just got too frustrating and I had to put it down. So I don't... Eric is Mandragora.
So you know what we should do? We should have a document that we all share, and in the bottom of it, we should put like the games we're going to talk about later on.
Totally there.
I know. We'll try that next week.
It's totally there.
Excellent, Jade.
I'm putting it here. Eric's doing the Google. So yeah, I think it's a game like that really just needs a couple patches, and then it'll be ready for me to go back to. I'm willing to wait for that because it was a big Kickstarter project, and like I said, I really love all the aspects of it. It just, that difficulty spike made it not fun. And even like there's accessibility options, you can lower the difficulty and all that, but it doesn't change like how frustrating it is to play at that part.
Mm.
And it's like one of those games where like, yeah, I can stick it out and just grind through it, but if I'm not enjoying it, like I'll just wait till I can.
Yeah, that a lot of those kind of, I don't know, those hardcore takes on Metroidvania and Souls likes. Which one do you feel like? Do you feel it is its combat Souls likey?
Oh yeah.
Okay,
It's 100%.
yeah.
It's 100% Souls like. I mean, you have the stamina bar, you have health replenishing, you have go pick up your soul.
A lot of them just lean into like, this is just going to punish the shit out of you without understanding that there's like a nice balance. There's a sauce that FromSoft, and the best of them, your Liza P, your Lords of the Fallen, if that's your
that's the funny thing. Like I actually really like the boss battles on this. It's the stuff in between that gets too frustrating. Like the bosses are gorgeously designed with really good animations and actually really fun attack patterns. Enough to some frustrating stuff in there, but just the way their leveling system is a lot different than a lot of other RPGs. So like basically you get like these 5 different categories to choose from when you're picking your character. So like a fighter, or you're like a spellcaster, or kind of a bunch of these different things, and then you get like almost like an ARPG skill tree where you get like those little nodes where it's 5% damage increase, 5% this, 5% that. I don't like that. I think that maybe needs to be reworked, because it just a good Souls like you level up and you can feel the power difference as you level up, and that's what kind of keeps the loop going. Where this, like, it's such minuscule levels, such minuscule changes that it doesn't feel like you're leveling up with the game. And so I think they missed that mark of like a really good curve that the Souls games follow, where you're leveling up, the bosses are getting harder each way you go, but you're also keeping up with them, just behind them enough to keep that challenge there.
Yeah.
And this
it sounds like
this doesn't hit that.
Some tweaking be in order, and that happens. Like, what's the name? Lords of the Fallen definitely needed tweaking to kind of hit its sweet spot, because when the way it launched was not a fun time.
Yeah, I'll continue to go for that game, but like I also hear the criticisms of it. I love the world exploration of that game. It just did it better than any of the Souls like for me, aside from Elden Ring.
You ever heard about Holiday?
I need to go back. I'm not huge on 2D exploration. I just get really frustrated.
Isn't this game 2D?
It is, but like the platforming is.
Did you hear him say he got frustrated?
Yeah. You could get frustrated in Hollow Knight instead. This fucking
2D. I don't know what it is. 2D platforming.
This game's called.
I just don't find 2D platforming very fun a lot of times. I find it more frustrating.
That is insane. That is literally like the DNA of video games. Is 2D platforming.
I don't know. It's weird. That's why I bounced off Nine Souls too, even though I really love the combat of that game.
Sure. Nine Souls I saw is getting manga.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'll read it.
Might just be a graphic novel. I think it's a manga. If it's a graphic novel and I called it a manga, I feel embarrassed.
Oh man,
Is that not the same thing?
Yeah, I should be specific when it comes to the difference.
What is the difference? I think those are the same thing.
Nah, when you go right to left, when you go left to right. Huge difference. Huge difference.
Zeph 101, the original, mentioned the Souls like that came out in 2021 called Shattered Tales of the Forgotten King. That's super funny. You bring that. Oh yeah, I made you review that. I just said no. Those devs showed me that game for the first time at my second E3 on their cell phone.
I don't even remember this game.
You
this game is alright.
Very small indie game. They just released a brand new game though.
These guys did?
Yeah, like a atmospheric walking simulator.
I like it. Wait, was it it's not the photography one?
No.
I bought the photography game, but I tried to run it on my Steam Deck. My Steam Deck was like, "Fucking, I'm gonna kill myself if you do that." What's the Annapurna photography game? Do you guys know the game I'm talking about? Lush Foil photography sim.
Never heard of this.
Most realistic looking fucking Unreal Engine 19 game where you just walk around a couple places on Earth and take pictures. And I was like, oh, I'll put this on my Steam Deck. And my Steam Deck was like, absolutely not. We are not doing this. You don't do anything in this game.
Like, that's the game?
This is the video game. That's the thing. I don't know what's going on here.
Wow.
Like, he made rocks that looked better than Kojima's rocks and Hellblade's rocks, and I thought they fucking reached new peaks with rocks.
This just looks like real life. What are they doing? All this for photography game?
all this for photography game. Don't play it on your Steam Deck. Nick, you been playing anything else?
I've been watching Andor. Have you been watching Andor?
Yeah, of course. I watched the 3 episodes. Yeah, I thought.
Wait, it's back? This new Andor?
It is back. Yeah, 3 episodes every Tuesday next few weeks.
Oh, I should watch the first one then.
So 3 episodes dropped. 2
fucking love this show.
Really good show.
God,
it's a really good show.
It is like just so goddamn good. The 3rd episode in particular. Oh my god, it's just like
it's really good.
The most refreshing Star Wars has ever been, and the first season of Andor is like that, and the second season is even better already after 3 episodes. Like I'm way more invested, and like so this. You know, I know that the discourse over Star Wars can be like, well, Andor's so good and everything else is bad or whatever. It's like I like that we're getting a variety of different Star Wars shows because I did like Skeleton Key. I did like. I really love Ahsoka. I know there's mixed opinions on that. On a rewatch, I actually really enjoy The Acolyte too on a rewatch, and I'm more annoyed.
You just reminded me that I wanted to check that out too, so I'll probably do that and then do Andor.
I think that was my favorite of the ones you mentioned.
Yeah, I'm still annoyed we're not getting a second season of that. I think it deserves it, but yeah, like just the quality of writing in Andor and the cinematography of it, the soundscape, just so freaking good. The scene, I don't want to spoil anything for anybody that hasn't watched it, but like the wedding scene in the 3rd episode, like that is going to win awards this year.
Yeah, it's incredible.
So yeah, I know like people are like, Andor's boring because it's more political drama intrigue than it is action. But like when the action hits in Andor, it really fucking hits. Like everything feels impactful and important in Andor, not just there to showcase budget numbers.
It's also got that stuttering robot, and I would fucking kill for that stuttering robot. He is the sweetest little dude. Oh my god! If anything bad happens to him, I'm probably gonna stop watching the show. If anything bad happens to this robot, and get over The Last of Us, whatever. Fucking, let's move on. But like, if anything happens to this little robot, that's not the stuttering robot. This robot's big. That robot's big and scary. My little dude looks like a little trash can. He's great.
Yeah, I desperately fucking hope that Disney understands what they have here in terms of quality.
And they gave it a season 2, so
they did. It was originally planned for 5 seasons, which somebody brought that up on my Blue Sky the other night. I was like, that doesn't really bother me. I feel like a lot of shows overstay their welcome these days. I'd rather get 2 seasons of an incredible show than.
I mean, the funny thing is, we kind of know what the 5 seasons would be because the way this season is laid out is each 3 episode batch jumps a year ahead. So it is a small story that takes place 4 years before A New Hope. And then next week's going to be 3 episodes that take place 3 years before A New Hope. And then 2 years before A New Hope. And then 1 year before A New Hope. So I feel like it would have just been these 3 episodes over the course of a season, which I'm sure would have been great and would have added a bunch. But I'm also fine with these 3 episodes being these 3 episodes and then moving on, unless they do something to my little garbage can, in which case I'm going to be very upset.
Yeah, so you
never see him past A New Hope, though, right? So...
Oh no, that's because he's so busy. He's like so busy. He's like so busy doing really important stuff.
Yeah, I'm really curious. Like I think we kind of already saw it with Daredevil. Like the quality bar kind of jumped for even Marvel shows. Not as high as this. The quality on this, not even close. But it kind of feels like Disney's finally figuring it out. Like, hey, we can maybe make prestige TV series with our IP.
Yeah, I hope they're figuring it out, and I hope it's not 2 exceptions that prove the rule.
Yeah,
so,
that's
we'll see.
No, I think it's a good trend because there was that time where it was like, oh, we're releasing 8 of everything in all the franchises, and then at some point it was like, okay, we're gonna stop. Like it almost as soon as they turned the floodgate off, these shows sort of had time for the creators to create.
Yeah,
so
they allow them to
like
like work on them and everything and fix if it's not working. So I agree. Really good.
And it's not just Andor that's giving me that feeling that Disney's kind of figuring it out. It's like Prey and the new Prey movie or Predator movie that's coming out, like both
Headline.
super unique and look and are shot incredibly. I
Did you see?
have a good feeling about that Alien Earth series that they're working on.
Did you see that animated Predator thing?
Yeah, that looks
Yeah, it looks
incredible
cool too.
too.
Like the three
I've
different
never
stories.
given a shit about Predator until I saw that.
Yeah.
That looks so freak. Like now,
Yeah.
I always knew what the premise of Predator was, but them making it an anthology thing where it's like,
Yeah.
oh, just different. Like that is the whole idea. Put it in animation. Now I get it.
Yeah, because Predator is obsessed with like I want to hunt like the strongest.
Yeah, so like, so
warriors.
show me all those hunts. Like,
Yeah.
I cannot wait to see that. That looks so freaking good.
When do you think they go after The Rock or Arnold Schwarzenegger? Oh, they already did that.
It literally
Yeah,
is Predator.
that's the
That's
first
the
one.
movie Predator.
I was meaning more the actual Terminator. And then there were like teases in that trailer yesterday that, and like I'm gonna sound so hypocritical because I get all the IP snobbery, but I totally want a reboot of a good Alien versus Predator because that concept is so cool, and those two movies were god or not.
We need a weekly thing that's a Nick's hypocritical corner, where it's last week it was fuck Nintendo for all these remasters. Oh, Oblivion's here. And then this week is fuck mining all these IP.
No.
You're combining Alien and Predator. Interesting.
I stay consistent with hating on Nintendo. Anybody else doing it? Fuck off, Marty. Go play your Final Fantasies for the next time.
Elfani character in Predator Badlands seems to be a Wayland Yutani synthetic, which is what all the alien robots are.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if
We
they're
already
supposed
know
to be
they're in
called
the same
robots.
universe.
Yeah, exactly. Those two hit films. Cool. KC, what have you been playing, watching?
I finished Common Side Effects.
Oh, hell yeah.
Like I took a break from that because I watched all the episodes that existed. So I came back, finished off the first season. That show is highly underrated. Like and I get it because I felt the same way. It's got ugly character animation,
It does.
but the world, its cinematography, its music, its cast of performers is top tier. Like this needs to win something so folks can pay attention to it. But like it's such a good story, and like it picks up like it feels like a Breaking Bad or a Ozark in terms of like its plot, but it has this sort of undercurrent of just Adult Swim-esque humor, where it's like it's self-aware of the fact that animation is generally used for comedy.
Yeah.
So even though it's telling you like a legitimately like serious, heartfelt story with like stakes and stuff, it uses its characters and its scenarios to be just very funny, but like not like haha funny, like goofy slapstick, but just this is a funny scenario, or this is an interesting person who makes me laugh. Like in particular, there's a dynamic between these two DEA cops who are partners, and they're just really weird. like the one guy is like kind of a conspiracy theory nut. And the other one is just this sort of super laid back lesbian. And like, they are just peanut butter and jelly. Like they're very different, but they work so well together. And just seeing their dynamic back and forth, the way they talk to each other is like heartwarming. And then something happens. I won't spoil anything. Like they get split up, and like the sadness between their dynamic not working anymore and them trying to figure out how to move forward in their careers without each other. Like it really it hits you.
Yeah, I love that premise. How many episodes is it?
10, I believe, in season 1.
And does it feel like does it have room for a season 2? Does this feel like a singular story?
No, they definitely set it up for, like, I really like where they went with it, because like they did tell like a coherent singular season. And it could end if you really wanted to leave it like super ambiguous as to the future, but it definitely warrants a season 2, and I do think it's been approved for a season 2, thank God. Where the stakes of everything is now like exponential.
Cool.
So like they seeded a lot of stuff to make the next season way more interesting in terms of just, well, the core concept is coming from several angles now, so we need to see what's happening. And there is like, if this was the same animation team that did Scavenger's Reign, right?
Yeah.
And there's a lot of that kind of psychedelic animation element in this as well. And that's a core theme as to kind of what's going on with that stuff. And it's just fantastic. Like if you have any interest in this, go check it out. Give it as much attention as you possibly can. It's fantastic. Probably some of the best animated TV I've seen in a really long time.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna check it out.
I also watched Sinners. Ryan Coogler's new joint. Yeah, I went to the movie theater with the fiance. Opening weekend. That's a great freaking horror movie.
Yeah.
You guys know, like I'm generally just not a fan of horror, but like, and this isn't like super complicated in terms of a plot either. Like, it's not doing anything outside. It's not coloring outside the lines in terms of what it's getting at. But it's just, hey, take a bunch of really interesting characters in a interesting set piece and throw vampires at them. And like the result of that is so good because everyone's performances are fantastic, and like the characters who are in the story are all fantastic. Like, and there's just the backdrop of just like blues music underneath it. Like there's a scene that film schools should study this scene.
I know, it's so good.
Like
don't give any of it away.
Yeah, I won't give it away, but you know what I'm talking about. Like the big musical thing. Like, oh my god! Like, it is great music in it. Period. Like, it's not even just blues music. There's other there's folksy Irish
music.
Yeah,
Irish
music in there too.
Yeah.
It's so freaking good. Like from top to bottom, like this is just a great watch. So go see this. Like, and there's a cool behind the scenes deal. Apparently, Ryan Coogler gets to own this film after like 20 something years.
Yeah. Which is like borderline.
Yeah, make this a success so we can break the studio system.
100%. It was one of those movies where I knew it was a vampire movie going in, and then I was so enthralled with the characters and the story, and like we're opening up a speakeasy. I'm like, hell yeah! And then the vampires show up like an hour into it. I'm like, I forgot there were vampires.
It's so out of left field. Yeah, it's like they're telling you a story, and you get invested in that story. Then it's like, oh yeah.
Yeah, I always at the first Cloverfield. It's always I know this is a big monster movie, but like the first 20 minutes are like a guy trying to get back together with his ex, and they're at like a house party, and it's like kind of awkward, and I'm like so invested in that, and then I'm like, oh fuck, there's a big monster. I forgot. I thought we'd have like another 2 hours with him.
I hated that movie when I saw it when it came out.
What, Cloverfield?
Yeah, I didn't get it when I watched it.
It was just a big monster.
No, dumb kid.
Didn't get the big. Watch it again. If you still don't get it, then
I'll get it now.
I thought, Sinners is great. I'm sure that'll be one of the main things. I'm really excited to have Darren talk about it on Tuesday.
I can't wait.
That scene is like, rarely do I see a movie and am I like, this is like a scene of the decade. Yeah, but there's a very clear like scene of the decade in the movie.
Like I felt something. Like I'm sitting in a movie theater, like that's going on. It's like I'm swooning right now.
Incredibly effective. Hell yeah. Anything else? You been watching?
I played Sea Frog for Hidden Gems this Monday. This was a recommendation that came from Eric. He kind of just put it in our chat, like, "Hey, this thing is coming out," and I immediately looked at it. I was like, "Oh, this reminds me a lot of Ali Ali World," which was a game I liked a whole lot when I reviewed that back in the day. And to my surprise, it's much more of a platformer, like a straight up platformer than Ali Ali World, but it borrows elements of like Metroidvanias in terms of like you can travel back and forth between these sorts of hub worlds, and you'll need items and you'll need to make progress in certain ones to then go back and do things in other ones. So eventually it becomes like this big sort of like, you know how Mario is, right? Like there's a hub world, but you're doing all these tasks in all the different places, and the skills you pick up along the way, that's that Metroidvania formula of like, well, now that I can do this thing, for example, I can, because you're a frog person and you skate on a wrench or surf on a wrench. I don't know.
Perfect sense.
So because of that conceit, like these ships are all like old, rickety, and leaking. So you're like fixing them by like, you know, turning knobs and plugging leaks and clearing debris and stuff like that. And that's unlocking new abilities that then let you go back and do different things that you can see in previous areas but can't interact with yet. And it just feels really good. It's got genuine challenge. In terms, like very early on, like I was seeing kind of just the skill ramp up. And honestly, it's cute. Like it's like that Mega Man Legends aesthetic of just real basic looking 3D built characters and stuff, but like very colorful.
Yeah,
very
it has
unique
that
in
like
its
a
art.
PS1 aesthetic, but because it is sort of the side-scrolling view, everything looks really crisp, and like the models look really nice. Yeah, I'm really excited for that. I watched a little bit of your stream, and I stopped watching because I'm like, I just want to fucking play this on my own.
Yeah, like
so
immediately after, like I'm probably gonna play more of it next week if I can stop myself from playing it just now. Because if I didn't have new stuff to play, I would just be playing this. Like that's how much I just enjoyed futzing around in that world. It's a really cute, really fun, very unique platformer.
Yeah, hell yeah,
so
love it.
Put that on your radars.
Where do you even? I don't remember seeing this in any showcases or anything. Where did Eric?
Right, yeah, like just kind of came out.
It appeared somewhere because when Eric put it in the account, I was like, "This looks cool," and then I went to look at it and I had it wishlisted. So this had to be in a showcase, but I do not remember ever seeing it in any of them. So it might have been like a deep cut in one of them. But yeah, very cool game. Thanks to the Reco, Eric.
Yeah, that's it for me.
Oh yeah. My only thing, Clair Obscur is my big game of the week, and then in terms of stuff I've been watching, I am still watching Gurren Lagann, which I fucking love, and I've gotten past the big event in episode 8, and I'm at episode 11 now. Just a wonderfully insane anime with, again, sets the groundwork for characters you really fucking love, and filled with twists and turns that are out of left field, and you almost feel DNA of other modern shows in this.
It's like it's arguably the most trigger show.
It is, yeah. It feels like them without any, like, they're not confined by anything, and they also almost like haven't gotten in their head. It just like feels like free jazz. In a really impressive way. So yeah, I'm taking my time with this because there's a little. I'm gonna be honest, there's a little fan service in there. There's a butt. It's a butt, Nick. It's a butt. You've seen butts before. Get out of town. You have a butt. Mom has a butt. Everyone has a butt. But I'm taking my time with this because I'm watching it along with my anime podcast, which my anime podcast has also talked about. One guy has become obsessed with Orb. And I'm like, all right, 2 people I respect, Casey and fake internet friend from the podcast, like Orb. So I'm getting Orb from both sides. So Orb's going to be on my list. But the big thing I've gotten through about 20 episodes of the original 1979 Mobile Suit Gundam. Every night I've been watching 2 or 3 episodes. This is the very original Gundam series. This some people have claimed is the most influential anime of all time, and it is insane what a good anti-war story this tells in 1979, where it's like there's this fucking war going on between like it's like the quote unquote good guys is Earth, and the bad guys are this federation that's called themselves Zeon, who it was like Earthlings who had to leave Earth because there's no more room on Earth, and they had to leave and go to space, and they were eventually like, you know what, Earth fucking sucks. We're gonna make our own federation. We're gonna go to war with Earth. And you start watching it, and you're like, oh wait, maybe Earth are the bad, because you're like, everyone on Earth kind of fucking sucks. Like these like Earth generals are terrible, and this kid is in the middle of the war, and they're like, hey kid, you need to drive this nuclear weapon. You're the only one who could pilot it. Like, and it's incredible. There's a whole 2 episodes where he kills a dude in battle, and then you find out that and the dude to him is like no one. And you find out that guy was like the son of the leader of Zeon, and he had a fiance, and that fiance is like going insane, and she's like, I need to fucking kill this kid who's in this Gundam. And she wants to murder him, and he's just like, I don't know who you are. Like, why are you so angry at me? And it's like the Bison thing from Street Fighter, where Chun-Li, like, that movie's dumb as hell, but that scene is so good, where she's like, you came to my village, you killed everyone, you murdered my family, like, this is the worst day of my life.
Yeah,
and Bison was like, to me, it was
Gundam.
Tuesday. Yeah, they got it. Bison loves a Gundam. Loves a Gundam.
So Last of Us was inspired by Gundam?
Last of Us, 100%. Fucking Joel Miller, just a Gundam.
What you're describing is the same plot in The Expanse.
Yes, yeah. It also reminds me a ton of The Expanse. Yeah. Oh, and shout out to my boy Char. This is my new favorite villain of all time. He is a fucking rascal. He sells his own friends downriver, but I like him.
He's legit.
I like him. Give me more villains like Char.
Taking notes.
Yeah. But yeah, that was my big thing. So a lot of weeb shit and we weeb shit in Clair Obscur. Yeah, before we close out for the evening, Denmark with a $10 dono. Thank you so much, Denmark. Waiting for something really good to pop up. Monster Hunter Wilds hasn't really given me the need to hunt more. I just get so much stuff out of them. I never need to hunt anything else for more than 2 or 3 times. Casey, do you have like a temperature check on Monster Hunter right now? Are you still playing it? Or are you going to go back to it once more stuff gets added?
They did add more stuff. They added Mitsuzune and a bunch. They added some more difficult variants of the current monsters. Like they let you fight the last monster again on a harder difficulty and whatnot. So I don't know how long it's been since whoever wrote the question has been playing to Denmark. But I immediately noticed that it was significantly tougher. And I knew that they would do that. I knew that they would up the difficulty as soon as they got a chance, because everyone was complaining about it being a little on the easy side. And it was, let's be real about it. But yeah, they tweak that all the time. If you leveled up to max and then they added the more difficult stuff and then you just went straight into it, it might still be a little on the easy side, but they're going to eventually outpace you. Like the thing is, if you're playing too much Monster Hunter, maybe give it a little break. Because you're outpacing it. Yeah, it's not that there isn't enough content. It's like you're eating it too fast.
Yeah.
You can't eat pizza too fast.
You can eat pizza too fast. I mean, you could absolutely eat pizza too fast. Yeah. Good big tummy ache. You think this Monster Hunter is going to be fine for the long run, though? You think this will
absolutely
have legs?
I have no doubt in my mind it's going to be absolutely fine in terms of difficulty, in terms of content, everything. But yeah, give it if you're playing too much. There's other games that have come out. Give those a try and then come back. I wish I could go back.
Yeah,
I haven't been able to go back.
Yeah, I know.
It's kind of crazy, like how many good games we've gotten this year. That like some of these bigger games like Monster Hunter are like in the conversation for a week and then we are onto the next big thing.
Yeah,
it's slowing down a little. May is slowing down a little bit. Doom is like the only, I guess Doom and Elden Ring at the end of the month are like the only 2 biggies. And then some smaller stuff sprinkled in then, but that's still even too big. And then as soon as June starts, you got the Switch and Mario Kart and Death Stranding's a few weeks later. Hollow Knight's stealth drop at the Xbox conference during Summer Game Fest. So all sorts of good stuff. But yeah, I think that'll about do it for us today. We did great. What a great show. No one got mad at each other.
Yeah.
No tears on camera. So I'm proud of all of us. Casey, what do you got going on? What should folks check out in your neck of the woods?
For me tomorrow, me and the fiance will be returning to Blueprints. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Super Smash Sunday on Sunday. Yeah, we're having a great time.
Hell yeah.
I do see the complaints in terms of RNG, because sometimes it feels like, oh, I really want to get this done, and the run doesn't allow you to do any of the things you planned.
Yeah. That's something that I started to feel as I got deeper and deeper into it, because I was like, for the first 20, 30, 40, 50 days, I was just fine to be like, wherever the wind takes me. And then eventually I was like, no, I need this to happen in game. You need to give me these cards. And I had the tools. I had the things to be able to like put some thumbs on the scales. But yeah. Really fun game though.
Yeah, it's a good time.
Hell yeah. And if you want to know more about it, you can watch Nick's interview with Thunder Ross over on Patreon at the $5 tier. He's got the interview there and the who did you do the other one with?
Abu Bakr Salim.
That's right. God, we looked at the skin suits. Yeah, we looked at the skin suits. I already forgot about it.
Skin suits.
So check that out. What else do you have going on, Nick?
I have a essay up on my personal channel about that Nordhold game that I talked about last week, that tower defense game. So you can go check that out. And then tomorrow I'll have a new episode of Unpacked up on here, which should be a pretty interesting one because it's about a dragon game, which you probably haven't seen before. I've showed KC. I think he can vouch for like probably the most incredible looking dragons you've probably seen in a video game.
Good looking dragon.
Yeah. Better than the dragon in Super Mario Odyssey?
Way better. Yeah. Fuck
that dragon is insane looking. What are you talking about? That's the best looking dragon I've ever seen.
In comparison to the world around him, yes.
And then next week I think Jenna and I will probably stream Clair Obscur for people that want to see that in action. Actually, we might not. There's another thing that might be dropping tomorrow that I can't talk about that we might stream instead.
All night.
Just look out for a shadow drop tomorrow. Is all I'll say.
I can't believe you didn't like the dragon from.
We're not allowed to look out for shadow drops. Then they're not shadows anymore.
That's true. It's one of those shadows where, like, if
don't stand underneath the window with the
the
refrigerator dropping it.
That's good advice. I will
It's
choose
really
not
good
to do
life
that.
advice.
And then tune back in tomorrow at noon. Another episode of Dev Heads with Brendan Chung, the lead developer from Blendo Games, who's doing this really cool sort of goofy immersive sim called Skin Deep. That is an Annapurna published game coming out in a week or two. That game, the Steam Nexus demo was great. And I've been a fan of Brendan Chung's for a while. He did a game called 30 Flights of Lovin'. That was one of my favorite indie games from like 15 years ago. So cool to have them on there. All the other normal stuff. Hell yeah. That'll do it for us. Thank you all so much. Everyone who watched live, everyone who is in the Green Gang, anyone who super chatted, left your amazing
Captain
questions,
President.
Comments in Patreon. Captain President. You know what? I'm going to be honest.
are the
Better than
president today.
Better than Obama.
Oh.
I mean, I don't want to be controversial. Might be better than Obama.
I thought you were going to say better than Trump.
I think
Not
being controversial
a wet diaper bag is better than Trump.
There you go. A wet diaper bag. It's like someone took their diaper bag and they like dropped it in a puddle. Thank you all so much, all our members of Patreon and anyone listening on your podcast service of choice. We appreciate you all. So for Nick, Casey, and Eric, this was Marty. This was Firelink episode number 64. Thank you all so much. Have a wonderful rest of your Thursdays, and we'll see you all later. Bye, Rob.
Bye, guys.